3B, as requested by James. Now, first thing I'm going to do is going to figure out this angle here. See the way tan A would be 1 over 6. That is opposite over adjacent, which is 1 and 6 here. The hypotenuse would be 6 squared plus 1 squared, which is 37, so the hypotenuse is root 37. This implies that sine A is 1 over root 37, and cos A is 6 over root 37. So far so good. We've gotten some information on what we needed there. Opposite over adjacent. Now let's continue with our question. Particle projected from a point P up a plane inclined. So that's the angle of the plane. So that's all right. The direction of the projection makes an angle A with the inclined plane. Okay, so we basically thrown this object up at an angle A, and it comes in and it hits the plane while traveling horizontally. I think I have to make this wedge a bit bigger. There we go. Now make this triangle a bit bigger. Okay, so the trick here is that it's traveling horizontally when it hits the plane, so it sort of travels like this. This sort of makes an alternate angle. I'm going to call it, remember I said tan B is 1/6? I'm going to call it tan B, purely because alpha is already in use, so don't be mixing up my angles here. So tan B for this angle here. Now, what this would mean is that if it's landing horizontally, your landing angle is also B. So your landing angle, tan of your landing angle is minus phi y over phi x at the time of flight, and this in turn must be equal to tan B, which is our 1 over 6. Okay, so that's working well for us so far. Now we're going to set up some equations here. So we're going to set up the gravity triangle first. We're going to use red writing for this, we hope. So here's our gravity triangle. Up, down, and across. So that's angle B. Okay, this is gravity. Now, G cos B, which would be this one here, is obviously 6G over root 37. Okay, next one would be G sine B, which we all know is going to be G over root 7. Okay, so that's G over root 37. Now, we have to show that tan alpha is 3 over 19. Okay, and so if we take alpha is thrown off in the following direction. Thrown off at alpha to the plane, that's U. This will make that U cos alpha, and this one U sine alpha. Now we got to set up our 4 equations: phi x, phi y, sx, and sy. So, okay, so now it's time to make our phi x, our phi y, our sx, and sy. So we're going to do U plus at first, which is U cos alpha. So it's going to be minus gt, which is minus g over root 37t. Phi minus at. Then you have your sine alpha with your free y. So use sine alpha. What's it going to be? It's going to be minus 6g over root 37t. Sx, which is going to be ut cos alpha, minus half gt squared, so it's 1 over 2 root 37 gt squared. And then our sy, which is going to be ut sine alpha, minus a half, so it's going to be a half of this, which is going to be 3g root 37 over t squared. So just half this number here, the 6g over root 37. Now we're going to get the time of flight. The time of flight is when sy equals 0. So we're going to get is 3g over root 37t squared equals ut sine alpha. The t's cancel. So that's a sin alpha, by the way. And then we're going to get a t, or time of flight, equals root 37 u sine alpha all over 3g. Okay, say that 3 times fast. Okay. So that's worth 10 marks out of 30 out of 25. Next thing, we're going to go back to the start. Remember I explained up here that minus phi y over phi x at time of flight equals 1 over 6. So this means that minus phi y over phi x equals tan b, which is 1 over 6. It means minus 6 phi y equals phi x, provided we use the time of flight. Okay, so that's what we're going to stick with here. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to substitute in the time of flight into Vy. And let's see what we can get here. So Vy, which has to be negative, is going to be u sine alpha minus 6g over root 37 times your time of flight, which is root 37 u sine alpha all over 3g. Now the 3g and the 6g can cancel just to leave a 2 behind. The root 37s cancel each other as well. So we're going to get u sine alpha minus 2u sine alpha, which simply equals minus sine alpha. So that's my phi y at time of flight. Now for my phi x at the time of flight, it's going to be u cos alpha minus g over root 37, I believe. Yep. Minus g over root 37 times the time of flight, which once again is root 37 u sin alpha over 3g. The root 37s cancel, the g's cancel, and what we're going to have is phi x equals u cos alpha minus u sine alpha over 3, which will be, give a common denominator, so it'll be 3 u cos alpha minus u sine alpha over 3. So now what I have here is I've got my, this yellow part here is the Vx, and this blue part here is the Vy. So minus 6 times the Vy, which is going to be 6 sine alpha, because it's minus 6 times minus sine alpha. That'll get me 6 sine alpha equals my Vx, which is basically, one sec guys, my Vx, which is this part here. Whatever you can take, there we go, there's my Vx there. Clone it. It's extremely lazy, but so be it. Alright, now cross multiply the 3 upwards, so we're going to get 18 sine alpha equals, sorry, 18u, there's a u there somewhere as well. That's u sine alpha, 6u times u sine alpha, so 6u sine alpha, which is 18u sine alpha, equals 3u cos alpha minus u sin alpha. Bring the sin alpha out of our side and we get 19u sin alpha equals 3u cos alpha. Then we're going to get sine alpha over cos alpha equals 3 over 19, and finally tan alpha equals 3 over 19. I think that's all we're asked to do, was it? Yep, and done. There you go, lads.